Hello, I'm doing the Aquacorde versus NHB match. This one will not be with Dugal because he is going to make food, and I'm trying to pump all these videos out because I want to get them done before obviously playoff starts next weekend, and so people have time to watch them and kind of I think videos like these are good for giving people a bit more insight into like the players and like who is winning, and that's why I want to kind of focus on who's winning a bit more too. And so for this match I'm just going to do it solo, and it's going to be watching Aquacord versus NHB, and I don't want to waste time because the last one like Loki had too much stalling, but I'm just going to get into it. And I guess I will talk about the pick bans a bit. So like what Duga was saying last time in the first episode, the second one will also have us because I'm skipping to this one because I'm skipping my match. I want to do my match with Dugal, um, both personally and also because I don't think it's as good for me to be like watching myself compared to like having his insight on kind of how like watching stuff. So I'll just uh, do this one solo, but the second one is gonna be with my match between me and Skycrab, and Duke will be there for that. We're gonna do that after this, but I'm doing this one for now. Okay, enough rambling. Okay, so Aquacorde bans Room Portal, NHB bans BT, and Aquacorde picks DT. So RP ban for Aquacorde and Desert Temple pick. RP ban, Desert Temple pick. Bans RP, 54% win rate. That is NHB's best C-type, and picks Desert Temple, not his best C-type. But that's it's NHB's. Wait, but NHB banned BT, and then Aquacore banned the next worst C-type for NHB. Dugal likes playing to your strengths more than playing to your opponent's weaknesses, I think, is like kind of the general philosophy, but I also see the vision here, so this kind of makes sense. Picking NHB's like lowest C-type, or like worst C-type that NHB didn't ban already. Obviously, to try and sway the momentum in Aquacorde's favor, because as much as like even I say like kind of how much like you can kind of do to like prep your mental and like not think about previous seeds, momentum still does exist, and if you feel good, you're feeling good, and you're kind of improving, expanding, whatever, like that is going to you know exist. So anyway, just get into the seed. um so I think the biggest thing was like I was surprised that this match was a 3-0, spoiler. Uh because I was expecting more from NHB, I think. NHB has like a really high peak, really clean mechanics. But I think a big thing was like nerves here. We'll see. But honestly, like Aquacord, like very well played this entire match. So we'll kind of try and analyze like more into like what Awkward's doing and like how he was able to win this match, I guess, compared to like the mistakes that NHB made, that kind of thing. It's not as important. Um, well, I mean, I guess it kind of works both ways, right? Like the mistakes NHB made are the things that Awkward's capitalizing on, but let's see. So I'm curious about this. So like so something that sometimes I do as well. It's like if you don't know what you're doing, you kind of just go blow up a tree, right? Because that's just something that you can do while you're thinking. But I think Awkward spots this fire over here, and the RP on the left was on the left as well. But instead of blowing up a tree, NHB is kind of just running around and then starts running towards this lake, probably just assuming that there's gravel over there, is what the idea is, and like you just want to do what the gravel is, but then or maybe it just spotted the RP and just wants to play the RP because RP is good, but um I would definitely raise that TNT there. I don't know why NHP didn't raise the TNT, but Aquacore blows this up and then like sees the RP now and then decides to go for it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess Aquacore just didn't see that RP at first. Mhm.
as
portal here
well.
like Aquacorde.
Maybe just a bit of nerves. Maybe there's a lot of crying obsidian and you're just not used to building a portal there. But I think this is just objectively a pretty detrimental mistake here, as Aquacorde's going to be finishing this portal.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just nerves. I'm not sure, like, why exactly we're going to this lava pool. Unless he thought that there was not enough lava. But, I mean, you have a diamond pickaxe too, like, even if it's 9, you need to mine 1 from the RP, like, that's still gonna be faster than running for so long. Well, honestly, surprisingly, makes up a lot of time. I think, but, like, Awkward grabs a gold block. The portal is really awkward. Like, it is objectively awkward, but running for 20 seconds is just worse. And Aquacord was behind, and then makes up the time that he was behind from not committing to the RP as fast, and then makes up the time, well, loses time back on making the portal, but then makes up time because, and then loses time, wait, sorry, makes up time that he was behind on getting to the RP, and then, loses time to making the portal because it's an awkward portal, and also loses time to grabbing the gold block, but still enters at the same time. So, like, just because of that, it was just like, I feel like I said that in a really weird way. Anyway, just Awkward's play was better, because we're entering with a gold block.
So this is gonna be pretty straightforward. Aquacorde at the top first, and it should be not
Okay,
too
wait,
much
I actually
of a
really like that. So Awkward, like,
housing. I actually can't tell with the bit
just kind of, like, blocks right top, and then goes to the very back corner here. And I'm pretty sure you're just totally safe like this. You're never going to get hit by piglins, because sometimes when you go into this, and honestly, being safe on Desert Temple Seeds with only Rotten Flesh is also really important. You don't want to be taking any damage. NHB does, like, blocks it off like that. Doesn't take any damage either, but maybe a little more potential for damage when we're kind of blocking it off a little differently. Let's see. Oh, I remember. It was just like a few questionable decisions from NHB and then like very clean gameplay from Aquacord. Apparently Aquacord was sick as well, which definitely can affect gameplay a lot. I feel like for me, it doesn't affect it that much, but like for some people it affects it a lot. I don't think it was really affecting Aquacord that much. Like, I know Danny was talking about, like, just getting sick during playoffs and it just being, like, a terrible experience, like, just not being able to focus, not being able to do anything like that. But, I don't know. Kind of depends on the person, I think, and obviously it depends on the sickness as well, right? But Awkward seems to manage pretty well, but he said he was coughing a bit, and that's maybe why it was shaky. Uses this hole to drop out all of his items and just have really clean inventory. Like, that is just nice. 2 obby here.
But you want, like, you don't want to be mining 3 pieces of obby. That's just 30 seconds of time loss here. So we'll
So
probably
I think I think this is the interesting decision here. So NHP gets 6, Awkward has 9,
but this could be an interesting
and
decision here.
I think with low pigs, like, I don't hate the play honestly from NHP now that I'm thinking about it. With low pigs, because you're single triple top down, and no obby like from any of the chests, like, and it's a desert temple, you know home portal's gonna be clean, then going for a home portal here is fine. It's like 10 obby, like, but it's just from the first chest that Awkward checks, so it just is a hard punish for NHB. And at the same time, with the diamond pickaxe, like, I think it's just like the way that Awkward played this was just so much nicer because, like, I think when you see that you have low obby, 20 obby is always faster than 10. So when you see that you have low obby, you should be always looting this bottom chest that Aquacord loots, this one right here, right? And then with this chest, Aquacord gets 2 extra gold blocks, which he trades out, and this extra 2 gold blocks that he trades out is going to be saving, like, time, because gets like 3 obby, and like you can only guarantee a 5 obby chest, right? Like Awkward's not guaranteed a 10 obby chest. And so like the fact that like if they had an iron pickaxe and Aquacorde's going to check outside housing with only an iron pick and 13 obby, it's scary, right? Like you're not guaranteed your obby. But with the diamond pick, even if he gets a 5 obby chest, that's only 20 seconds mining with the diamond pickaxe. So it makes even more sense to do what Aquacord was doing. And so NHB tries to like kind of get a nice pearl hangout here, which is like instead just kind of overlapping in this way. But I think with like the 6 obby, like it's just so scuffed to do this. Like you just need to, if you have low obby, you need to be always looting this bottom middle chest insta and then trading it out and just like making like just trying to see what you can get with the bottom chest. If you have high obby, obviously skip the bottom chest. Like who cares? But yeah, there. And like it depends on overlaps as well, depending on like what you're gonna do if you want to skip that bottom chest. But like makes up time here because like NHB entered a bit slower, but no 20 just because oh my god, just because Aquacord had like such a like consistent way of playing the Bastion. Aquacord just played it like the consistent path and it just paid off. And then obviously unloading the pearl is just unlucky. Like NHB was like so pearls to the left here, and then what sometimes what people do is like, okay, raises to 4 is like, okay, that's chill, checks for that chunk border right there, crosses the chunk border, wants to raise to 5 so that he can like see down this corridor, but we already started on 4 and that crossing that chunk border is like not the direction away from the pearl, it's like to the side of the pearl, so then we just reload the pearl, which just like makes sense. It's just like hard to think about that in the moment. Like you only want to be like looking at chunk borders and raising your render as you run if you like like I fully zoned out. What was I talking about again? If you're running away from the pearl, I think. Is that what my sentence was? I don't remember. Okay. And then yeah, home portal just sucks for a lot of different ways. Like home portal also sucks for like this, but like NHB's getting full punished for this. Like we're running towards the pearl hang, I think, right now. But we're getting like full punished in terms of like I think it's even worse on buried. Like like just not being able to like look down like the corridors and like being able to make decisions based on that. Like if NHB knew it was buried, like he should have forced open spawner even like or should have forced 20 even harder. And it's like obviously in hindsight it's like easy to think about it like that, but I don't know, it's kind of like a lot of the decisions that you kind of have to make in playoffs. Like you just have to be playing so perfectly always, otherwise your opponent is just so good they're just gonna be making up all this time on you. And I think Aquacord kind of just has a very consistent playstyle. Like I would say Aquacord's playstyle reminds me of Dougal's in the way that like they're very consistent. It feels just like a like they're trying to make every run feel like the same every single time. They're trying to make it like as much like they're playing SSG as they can. And I think that mindset is really, really good. But I think at the same time, I don't know if it's like the correct play because if you look at like EDCR and Infume, they don't play like that at all. So like I think there is room for kind of there is room for a bit more like high roll plays and stuff and like kind of making those happen. But at the same time you'll notice like when Awkward and Dougal play, it's just this kind of very clean, very consistent, like they're pretty much just going to be making good decisions the whole time. They're pretty much just going to be like they're every single run that they do is going to look the most similar to like the previous run as anybody in the tourney. Like Infume might do like some crazy thing on like a seed, or EDCR might do some crazy thing on a seed, or even Loki like might just like, but like with these two I feel like they're very similar in that way. So it's interesting. I think it works well in a tourney format as well. It probably works even better on ladder is my guess, but maybe not. I don't know. Kind of depends. Tourneys, it's just good to be consistent because it's harder to play under nerves, I think. That's probably the biggest deal. Oh,
half
yeah,
of
and then
the
this.
guys
206,
on the
194, but he went 194,
right?
206
Well,
instead.
let's
That
think
could be because
the
he's
opposite
sick,
then.
it could be because he's nervous, could
Well,
just be a
They
brain fart,
missed
whatever, right?
though. They didn't go for the Rock and realized it.
Lucky that it was 206, 194.
Exactly what NHB needed.
Also, time loss there doesn't
Actually,
have the
taking out the Creature Brain bot, looking like
undo
Aquacorde
key
might have lost away from it.
bound, which I do have
Monster,
bound, which I kind of
maybe
find
just maybe
funny.
just flip chords.
Flipped X and Z potentially. Inverted the chords,
Wow.
Parker, in the
But
first
at this point, it
round.
just has so much time save.
Aquacorde is gonna have to take quite a trip here, and all of a sudden, NHB is very
This is
close
just
to
it's hard to
portal.
it's hard
He's got the
to
diamond pick, so it's slightly
say
faster
too
for
much about it,
NHB
right?
instead of
Like,
going from surface all the way down to like
I don't
wide
know if this
reach
is
like
really an
Bastion.
indicator of
What
Awkward's
did we
gameplay much at
get
all,
for
honestly.
Aquacorde?
And like,
I mean, he
if he
has
gets over the
diamond,
sickness in a week, like he's probably just gonna be a better, slightly better player as well. I don't know how much the sickness is affecting him, really.
but he misplaces. He misplaces, and he has to finagle his way around this obby
Oh
so
my
that he doesn't
god,
drop the
mining
bomb.
this hobby is
Oh
crazy.
my god.
Yeah, so like,
Shout out Diamond
there was a lot of mistakes between the both of them in this match. And Awkward's really only mistake was just misreading the chords, but that's like a big mistake when you think about it. And it's just like, I don't know if that's, I don't think that really means much for Aquacord. Like, I don't think he's gonna, like,
This is really close
think
though.
about that too hard, just like, whatever, I was sick, kind of thing. And like, obviously it doesn't show in the later matches, and also he doesn't get punished for it because he doesn't lose the match, so it doesn't matter in this match at all. But this is scary, like, is it scary?
058 back
Because
dragon.
I remember, like, I always find it, like, a little scary to enter end without being full health, uh, because or like having some really good food to heal you up because and obviously steak is really good food, but if you have to do 4 pearl back buried, it's so much harder to do 3 pearl and make it to 95. You're most likely only gonna have to be able to make 90, and if you need to go to 95, that increases like the odds of your odds of winning by a lot, and your damage on the beds goes up and like that kind of stuff. So like um, I don't like entering in on 7 hearts, even though he eats the steak. But like, since NHB is in the stronghold, since NHB is in the stronghold, you have to. I think you just have to. You just have to think about it though. Like it's just kind of scary. But like how many hearts down is he? 7. So 7 hearts, eats the steak. Let's see how much he heals. Obviously gets to full, and then
Little awkward.
heals like
058
1,
back
2.
dragon.
Like, are we gonna 4 pearl? Like, I don't think so, right?
Low
Only
chance
goes for
of
3 pearl. Like,
saving a pearl
because
because he has a ton of health.
yeah, you have to go for the 3 pearl there because we don't have the extra saturation.
Probably just pushing 90.
Yeah, because like I mean, if he threw 4 pearls, he would have been on 2 hearts, which is doable, but like you have to 3 plus 2. Like it's kind of scary. And then we only can go to 90 here. I don't even know if 4 pearl I would be comfortable with going to 95 on 85. I don't know if I would even be comfortable. So honestly, overall it was fine. And yeah, I'm overanalyzing. It's just like kind of scary, but like he has to enter end anyway because NHB's in the stronghold. Like he just has to enter end. Like you can't give your opponent the opportunity, and especially because I'm thinking about a very specific scenario where it's buried back, right? And most of the time your zeros aren't going to be buried back. It's going to be front. It's going to be buried front. It's going to be regular like open back. Like so I'm thinking about a low chance scenario, so you always have to enter end there, but it's just something that Aquacorde had to be aware of. We can only 3 pearl once we enter end here, and that was the 100% correct play from him, but just something to just like that is like losing a bit of consistency on his end fights there, just because he has to, because NHB is right behind, because he misplaced Obby. Like if he didn't misplace Obby, maybe he goes for the Hungry Reset. I mean, I don't know how many pearls he has. Obviously you could think about the pearl count as well, but he has like plenty, so like it's just like something you have to think about. But yeah, I mean, Aquacorde should have been way ahead. Obviously, just the thinking about it wrong was just a big issue. But
Shipwreck is something where I don't remember the exact good about
Shipwreck next.
seconds to go. First rank.
Let's see.
I don't see the ship yet. There it is, over the horizon. Upside down ship should be able to.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that is like you can look at is like Aquacorde kind of is like I don't know. I don't know how to describe this exactly, but like Awkward just doesn't have like the same flashiness with mechanics as the other runners, as a lot of the other runners,
It's
even
definitely like it's
like
not
in
a
playoffs and
clean
whatever.
like you're
Like
not getting
NHB is
bullet,
kind of
you're
just.
not getting like
Like,
it's definitely
but
I
13
mean,
iron.
we can look at this. Like the decision to run to. So I mean, okay, this is actually interesting. So we're scanning off Rip.
See what it looks like.
We're both running the right way, insta,
I don't see the ship yet. There it is.
and then
Right.
Awkward
Up
just
and
hesitates
down.
a lot on the
Actually, NHB going down pretty low.
entity
Maybe they
distance
have a little
up.
oxygen. Maybe take a tick or two of drowning damage. But 13 iron, that's
Oh,
solid.
Dolphin. That makes the biggest
Also
difference, I
pretty
think,
solid. We
here.
got a stew,
Okay, that does make a lot of
bread,
sense. And if he gets a Dolphin, saves a lot of
all
time.
that.
it's definitely like it's not
There was
a
just
like
still
it's
extra
not a
time save there, in my
massive
opinion. I think
flesh
just
where
because
it's like
I don't
it's
think
not like a ton of
is
flesh in
NHB on
here.
500% entity distance. I think NHB is on 500% entity distance, and Awkward at a really slow entity
It's
distance
not like a
change.
ton of flesh. Like
But yeah, that's like something about maybe mechanics is
see
like
here,
that
Aquacord
slow
isn't
entity
really
distance change.
doing like a
But
poison
like
stew or anything
at
like
the same time,
like that's
maybe his
it's
mechanics are worse
pretty
just because he's sick.
fine and that's amazing crafting for NHB. Wow.
But yeah, I don't think in general Awkward has as flashy mechanics, and
So
so like
really
he's a
interesting
similar player to Duke, but
progression
just like less
for
flashy kind of thing,
as it is
less,
throughout the seed, but
and that's like probably
Aquacore's
their
gonna be
biggest
first. I think
difference.
NHB is gonna be first, ready to go here with some
I would say.
absurd crafting. The looks like we have a ravine as well, thanks to the kelp. Aquacord not too far behind, but definitely a
Yeah,
big
I think
opportunity
Awkward's
for
like
NHB if we can get hot stuff
obviously
in
just very
10
scary.
seconds with
It
the
doesn't keep the
domination.
shears.
Yeah, pretty
Hasn't
significant
gotten that into
lead
his
on
muscle
the
memory yet. It's
especially
obviously just
the sort of
correct
linear
objectively to
seed. I
keep the
think it was just
shears.
pure
It's just
mechanics of,
something that you have to kind of work into your
crafting
gameplay. And like
maybe
when I had to first
maybe a
work that
little
into my
bit
gameplay, it
slow
was really
progress,
annoying.
but I think the main
But
advantage
then
is maybe
after a
like
while,
the
it gets so
finding the
nice,
right
and then
seed.
it just starts
Maybe
saving
this
you
is
time
gonna
on like
be
every seed.
a raw 10 or maybe even
Because like
15
it's not
seconds
going to
for
save him time on the
Aquacord, but
portal.
Yeah.
NHB playing the game
Because you
correctly
have to slow down on the portal anyway.
A
Like the,
1
mining
point
this
for Shipwreck
leaf is
with
like you just have to wait and then
damage.
shear. But like it's
Yeah,
gonna save time
right here,
probably in other
it's
ways.
gonna be a
Oh,
pretty
I
easy
remember
sweep,
this. This is
partner.
pretty
Definitely
interesting.
not too far from
Yeah.
the
Okay, so
stables. This is a
this
double
is a hard
one chest
decision to
here.
make. I remember I was watching this with Infume. Infume said he would do what Awkward was
For
doing.
NHB, Aquacord taking a
In like
slightly
what
longer
I would
path,
do
deciding
maybe
to force the buried double chest here.
like
Well, NHB is going to notice the middle rampart is a triple chest. Going to check the right side gap. It's a triple chest as well. And now we're in a situation that we've been in I think both the previous two matches, Parker, where double triple versus triple the gap. What are we going to see? It looks
they're
like
both
both
doing
runs are going to be going for double triple here.
okay.
Triple to four able to get
Like
a double. So there's
if you look at like the terrain for Aquacorde, to me at least, it looks like it's completely
a
buried, but
double.
maybe
So
it's
there's one
not.
chest there buried. The second chest going to be
Well,
right
it's
behind
not. Like I
here.
know it's not
And
after you
armor
a
for
second.
NHB.
Like you can tell it's
Aquacord
not.
taking a slightly
Um,
different path, deciding to
like
force the
right
buried double
here,
chest here. Well, NHB is going to notice the
mine's
movement
this,
of
and then
this
goes
triple
like
chest. Going to check
this
the
way,
right
and
side
then it
gap. Two triple
opens like
chests here.
really early. Like if this was buried, Aquacorde would be still just be mining through this, mining through this, mining through this for so long, right? And um it would have taken him a lot longer to get
Well,
out
and
and get through to these triples. But at the same time, NHB's play is kind of weird because you're dropping down and then going back up, so you're losing the height and then gaining the height. And like the only reason why NHB's play has worked as well is because it like or like worked so well as well is because it was open. But like
NHB. So there's one chest there buried. The second chest going to be right behind here. Going to be able to get armor for
grabs
NHB.
this
Aquacord taking
and
a
then like
slightly different.
but like NHB knows that it's open because you can just like see that it's open.
So there's one chest there
So I think
buried.
like NHB's play makes more
Right
sense,
behind here, gonna be
honestly.
able to get armor for
Because
NHB.
mining through terrain is just annoying,
Slightly different path,
and it
deciding
looked
to
buried at the top, and it didn't look buried at the bottom. So,
force the
and
buried drop
then
chest here. Well, NHB
NHB
is
kind
gonna
of runs
notice
around here and like gets one
Aquacord
chest looted, and then if NHB's really like thinking about it, he can see this chest loot and see that this is Obby grabbing Obby or whatever, and then
gonna check the right side
knows
gap.
where the obby is for the
Now we're in a
double
situation
triple.
that we've been
Or
I think
not for the
the
double, like
previous
just
two matches,
knows
Parker, where
that
double triple versus triple the gap. What are
Awkward
we gonna
probably
see?
looted the top
Looks like
chest and that
both
there was
runners
obby in
are
it,
gonna be
because
going
like what other chest is Awkward gonna loot in
one
that
thing that's
scenario?
gonna be a lot better
But
for
it's kind of hard to
NHB
think about that.
He got
Anyway,
that upper chest from the buried
NHB
seed
saved some time there, I
double.
think. Well, I don't know actually. I
Get
think
that?
it's
So if
very
maybe
comparable.
potentially
Misses a
NHB
gold
doesn't get
toss
the
there,
obby
loses some time
immediately,
back.
isn't as confident in sending this. Yeah,
If it was buried for
that's
Aquacorde, I think he would have
so
lost
this
more
one
time.
maybe a little bit more
So I like
difficult
NHB's
anyways
play.
compared to
And it
Aquacord.
should have been buried
Both grabbing these
based
blocks
on
and
the
NHB
info that
taking the
Awkward
exact same
had.
time, but you're right.
Um,
Obby difference for Aquacord is going to matter. Couple straight stray piglins here for NHB. Not even gonna get the
Does
Never
single
kill.
border Pyre, and then
All
it
of a sudden,
like
it's
realizes
8
it's like
piglins for NHB,
pause
and none of them are trading the gold.
pausey
So this
minusy.
could be wait for NHB. Not
What
even
happened to
for
NHB?
Aquacorde. It's both grabbing these boots, also having
Okay, so Aquacore or like NHB does like the
absolutely. And
this
that's
like so weird. Like
also having maybe a little
I
bit
kind of
more
get it.
piglins compared to Aqua. Absolutely.
Like it's really annoying when these pigs are late like this. Like okay, like this late pig, like it's really annoying to have to run back to the pit and then let the pigs in, and then but instead NHB like wait, actually maybe this is better because you're gonna get hit anyway, and you're gonna get the pigs anyway, and like these guys are already they're not done yet, but you can kind of make them auto funnel in by like blocking it up like that. Maybe this is better actually. Um, it's just kind of awkward. I think you just have to tank 2 hits, which is why it kind of you don't have to tank 2. You have to tank 1, and you lose a trade right here. And I think it's probably not good, actually. Or yeah, it takes like 2 hits there and then tries to block up the pigs and then kind of messes it up. Yeah, I don't think that's good. I think you just want to let the pigs into the pit, just get them in. It's kind of a lot cleaner. You're just not gonna have to worry about them in that way. Like you should just be kind of letting the pigs into the hole, like getting the trades going, especially double, triple. A little more debatable because you have a lot more pigs to manage and work with, whatever. So it's not as important to have them trading the whole time, but double triple, it's a little bit more important to have them trading the whole time. And then Aquacorde gets his pearl hang off, just kind of throws it like where it's open because that's the only pearl hang he's going to be able to throw. So has to just kind of throw that pearl hang that he doesn't know where it's going to land. And I like it because it's better to throw a pearl hang there than not throw a pearl hang there. Just this is like weird, right? Like I've noticed this like as well. Like okay, what Aquacorde could have done here is drop this gold down, right? And then just instantly done pre-crafts. But what Aquacorde does instead is just eat food here, eats this stew, and then eats the rotten flesh, and then checks the trades. Kind of does some inventory management. No, it doesn't even do anything. Just leaves. And so like NHB. Okay, wait. So why doesn't NHB pearl hang? Oh, because those pigs were like being annoying. He probably didn't have time to like grab. Oh no, he has pearls. NHB just couldn't find a time to pearl hang. Maybe? Yeah. Okay, so NHB finds it. That's good. But wait, I'm so confused. NHB just doesn't think he can pearl hang, and then Awkward just finds that like kind of little like spot to pearl hang. Why does he drop the gold like so late like that? Fixes inventory management, does free crafts, and then just doesn't have the pearl hang off. Yeah, just doesn't have the pearl hang off. NHB looted 1 extra chest, and that's like why like since NHB had to loot that extra the extra like double chest on the left side, loses a little bit more time too. But yeah, it's just the biggest thing is the pearl hang there. And NHB's exit is a little nicer because of it, but Aquacorde is just making so much more, like, it's just so much more decisive for Aquacorde. I mean, I don't even know. Like, it's so weird, right? Because, like, Aquacorde's Pearl Lens and Lava, that's, like, pretty much the worst thing that can happen to you because you're stuck. Let's see how long he's stuck for. 34. Building up, building up. By the way, standing right next to the gravel is slower than being a block away from the gravel. While you're swimming, you'll swim slower. 30, wait, did I say 34? 34, 46, 7, 8, 9, like 9 seconds, 10 seconds just from swimming up in lava. So like that sucks, right? And you can see NHB just pearls here and then pearls here. But then this kind of sucks because look at NHB's terrain. Oh, we're all closed off. And look at Aquacorde. We spot the fort from like 20 chunks away. And that's just because of the levels of like the nether. And like if you have like terrain at 1 level, you're probably gonna have terrain like at a 2nd level because like usually the nether has like kind of 2 levels. And for this level, well actually I'm not sure about that. I think it's like sometimes there's like 3. Sometimes there's like a lava level, then like an open level, and then like an upper level. And I think that's what it usually is. So you usually know that there's kind of like a lava level at the very bottom, and like sometimes it closes off and stuff. But you can kind of play for that a little bit. Like if you don't have terrain, like changing your Y height is often the best way to find terrain. Uh, and so when NHB exits here and sees nothing, like maybe you'd say that it's better to go to the lava level and then see if you can spot the fort. But no, he goes up. I would probably go up here too, honestly. And then, dude, like jump boost, so annoying. Pearl's this way. This is the wrong way, right?
Threw it into this perfectly centered lava lake and had to throw another pearl to get out of it, so losing
Yeah.
even more.
And then has to rescan because it's just, oh, never mind, it's the right way.
Part of the fortress before NHB, but look at his health, you know. Potentially could be a little bit awkward here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like that's so weird too because you see, okay, this is another mistake kind of from I don't know. NHB's on 10 hearts, but like NHB gets so stuck eating because on this seed like all you have is bread and like stew. And stew is all right, but bread kind of sucks for pearling. And like Aquacorde like stacked up the saturation while leaving, like ate the stew, ate the rotten flesh. Maybe he was thinking about that. That might be really smart. Knowing that the fort is, let's see. This might be really, really smart from Aquacorde, honestly. I'm not sure if he was thinking about this, but I feel like food management is like one of those things that's like really underrated. So like we can see like, okay, Aquacorde Pyra's here, right? And sees that it is like 12 chunks or like 11 chunks, right? 11 chunks is like wait, hold on. Let me just try and math this on my second monitor real quick. So like 11 chunks times 16, and then you can kind of assume that well, the terrain is kind of buried, so like maybe you would assume that you're throwing more than like a really nice like if a pearl is usually like 70 blocks, then if the terrain is kind of buried, maybe you assume that you're throwing a few more pearls than that. So like maybe it's like 50 blocks, and then you have to throw like 3.5 pearls, 4 pearls to get to like the fort. And maybe like you think that it's buried, so you have to throw even more pearls potentially, because usually buried terrain is like very awkward. And so what Aquacorde is doing, I don't know if he was thinking about all this, but like that it could be a good thing to think about, right? On buried, I mean, it's debatable though, but too, because buried, like, you might just have to mine through a wall, and obviously if you're mining through a wall, you're not pearling, but you know that there's supposed to be terrain. So buried means that you just might have to go like pearl like around the terrain, usually is what you would do, and so you're probably gonna be sending more pearls. And 11 chunks is like pretty far, and so like Aquacorde takes this few seconds and stacks up the saturation so that when we're leaving, we have like all of like we have like a stew ready, right? And then Aquacorde, but dude, I don't know. I'm just maybe just talking too much. Like Aquacorde unhangs his pearl though, and is on full HP. After one pearl, we're on full HP, right? Because we had really good saturation. And then we whip this pearl to the side here, and we whip this pearl and we eat the bread insta, right? Like, okay, well, I would have tried to eat it like earlier even. But okay, well, I guess it just doesn't need to eat it that early because we're just getting in the fort like so quick. Like we just know we have this exact like amount. So what? He throws one pearl, 2 pearls, 3 pearls, 4 pearls, and so like if we're NHB here, NHB is leaving 10 hearts, no saturation. Then like 4 pearls would kill you, right? But and then NHB throws like 2 pearls and then like isn't eating bread, throws 3 pearls, eats the stew. Now, honestly, the stew there is good. It's just so hard for NHB. I don't think like the position. It's just like NHB starts to have to pearl way more because like since like a 4th pearl here is on 2 earth. Also, the reason why I'm saying all this is because bread has really slow saturation, so stacking up your saturation before you leave Bastion like might makes more sense. But I'm kind of just talking, honestly. I'm kind of just talking. I think I think it does make sense. Like, if you know you're gonna have to throw a lot of pearls, you want to be more aggressive with your eating, especially when you have bread, because you know you're gonna have to eat a lot, and so pre-stacking like some saturation or whatever might be a good play. Even if it's slight food waste, it's overall just gonna save you time because you're gonna be able to get to fort quicker. NHP manages it pretty well. Honestly, after getting kind of screwed on this terrain, because Aquacorde just sends a Pearl Hang, which is the better play, but Aquacorde's Pearl Hang just kind of was lucky in the fact that even though it was bad, it ended up being good, because Aquacorde was able to spot the fort, and the fort was in a really weird position, and NHB's Pearl Hang, or not Pearl Hang, was, like, better for visibility and staying up and out of the lava, not losing 10 seconds to having to swim. Instead NHB, but then NHB gets punished for that. But then NHB with the rescan and the purling kind of honestly recovers it well. We're just really high up right now, I guess is like the only problem, but like I don't think there was anywhere where NHB could have gone. And then just has to throw a lot more pearls, and then okay. But then like kind of equalizes it a bit, because just Aquacorde entered in the bad part of the fort, runs through, and even though it feels like Aquacorde's really far ahead, 358, right? We're just running right now. Time loss. This is time loss. This is time loss. This is time loss. You know what I mean? As soon as unless we're killing a blaze actively or at a spawner actively, this is technically all just time loss, right? And like obviously, I can just say that from the exiting of the Bastion, it's all time loss as well, which is true. But like, yeah, this is a really good play though. Also, sees that it's open here, mines through, sees the good part, pearls to it, saves a ton of time. Like, really good play from Aquacorde there. That's really smart. Kills a stray, and then I don't know, like runs exactly where I would run for it, but then bang, we're at the spawner at 432 with one stray. NHB gets the spawner at, and fucking a bunch of random assholes, 441 with no strays. So NHB is definitely behind, but not that much. Really not that much. I don't even know if they're at the same fort. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it looks like the same fort, but I think I got turned around when Aquacorde was in the lava, because I thought the fort was like to the right of the stables, but NHB I swear went to the left, like exiting the back. So I don't know, but I mean NHB plays this really clean with the double bed. Aquacorde does too. Wait, I'm curious about this too. This is like really annoying, right? Like Aquacorde having, okay, so like I think this is a slight misplay from Aquacorde actually. Like that, okay, that's fully overlapped, just a kill, right? But then there's 3 baby magma cubes and then 1 wither skeleton. I would not kill these baby magma cubes. Yeah, they're gonna do damage. Yeah, it only took a second, but every second that, like every second, especially when you have a lot of time loss at your spawner, matters, because Aquacorde could pop this blaze bed. Oh my god, and we haven't pre-crafted the blaze bed right because we were overlapping the eating. We might just get screwed on this next spawn. Like, double blaze bed's really fast, but it gets all the fire. Okay, so now we're not screwed. But I think Aquacorde could have gotten screwed. There was like a pretty solid chance that Aquacorde could have had the spawner spawn a little quicker and wouldn't have gotten this force spawn, or this force spawn like would have been like eaten by all the fire. So you definitely want to just be getting your blaze bed off as soon as you possibly can, just to negate that fact. I mean, I don't know how much Aquacorde was like looking at the little like spawner guy. Like, maybe, but like, dude, this guy looks like he's fucking spinning to me like crazy, right? Like, you don't want to, like, mess with that, I feel, and kind of risk, like, it's just, like, hard. It's just, like, so hard to, like, be aware of how much time you have until the next cycle. So, in general, you just want to get the blaze bed off as soon as possible. Because the spinny guy, for anybody who doesn't know, the spinny guy, says when the next spawner is going to be, but it's very, very inaccurate because it spins faster as it gets closer to a spawn, but like I've done very like little testing, like actual like proper testing. This is just based on my vibes. There's like a few different things that you can pick up on, like the spinny guys spin slower and then faster. But like if it's a 10-second spawn, it goes from slow to fast, like just really fast. It goes like slow, medium, fast, and then spawns. but then if it's like a 40-second spawn, it goes like slow for a while, and then medium for a while, and then fast for a while, and then spawns. So it's like, it's so weird. You can't just like look at it and be like, oh my god, it's fast, it's gonna spawn the next spawn right away. Because sometimes that fast spinning animation like lasts like longer than like I'm pretty sure how it works, is like it still has to like go through the whole animation. It just does the animation quicker, and it's really hard to tell like how, because like you're fully just like seeing how fast it spins, and it's just like kind of in there, and you're trying to do it while you're doing all this other stuff. So it's really hard to use that, but you can. It's still info, right? Like you should be trying to use it, in my opinion, at least a bit. But if you use it too hard and it doesn't work properly, then that's really bad. This is really good from Aquacorde, in my opinion. You should always be getting the blaze bud off right away and then killing blazes like that, because then it's just, you're overlapping with a fully exposed spawner. Like those kind of strays are the best possible strays that you can have. So gets like a fully overlapped single stray kill. Builds portal here. Okay, this is chopped portal. But NHP is just buried. Doesn't have to do like all the extra stuff that Aquacorde had to do, like kill the stray or whatever. So first portal's earlier, but isn't actually in the lead. A little bit of time loss there for NHB. Offhands the bucket. I don't know why you don't just. It's better to just put the bucket in the obby slot, and then pick block it off your bar. Put it in the obby slot. Right click, break the portal. Breaking the portal is also not for light level. Just, I want to make that very clear. Breaking the portal is not for light level, as Parker I think says later on. It's, yeah, he says it right there. I don't know if the audio might be a little too low for the video. I'm not really listening to the commentators. I just kind of have them in the background just because might as well just have some noise. But the portal does not give enough light level to block spawns. The only reason why people break spawner is just because it's nice. It's nice to, when you're building your portal there, blazes sometimes, rarely, can walk into your portal. If you have to kill a blaze and you have to kill it towards the portal, it's really awkward because you don't want to send it through your portal. You don't want to kill a blaze next to your portal because its rod could go through the portal. So having the portal there is kind of awkward for all of those reasons, and breaking that spawner is good. But it's not for light level.
If you're NHB, you can't be relying on Aquacorde to miss Stronghold again.
I mean, look at how much faster Aquacorde's measuring split was.
I'm gonna drink some water. My voice is kind of
closer than it was for NHB. An unfortunate situation for NHB there. I mean, just
Chris says that the Stronghold's closer for Aquacorde.
And he's in an SSV, so he's gonna be playing strays here. NHB doesn't.
Yeah, this is really good too. I really like trying to leave on strays, because the reason why leaving on strays is so amazing is like, okay, we'll see here. Aquacorde comes back, right? Honestly, I would debate that Aquacorde should have dropped RD earlier and tried to spawn these strays earlier, and then we could have made a more informed decision and potentially just spawned more earlier. I don't know. But since, like, the reason why strays are so good is because of pearl hangs. Pearl hangs exist. So, like, essentially, like, you know your stronghold is one direction, right? And if the strays are towards that stronghold, yippee, we're going towards the strays that are towards our stronghold. If they're not towards our stronghold, we just pearl hang the other way and then go grab the strays. And so it's pretty much no time loss in that way. As soon as we have first portal and know where our stronghold is, strays become kind of amazing. So Aquacorde sets up the pearl hang, goes for it, drops a 2, isn't probably planning on playing the strays, but then like makes this sword, and then the fact that he's not out on this cycle and then sees those strays over there makes him kind of, the only reason why strays maybe suck kind of is because they could like be really annoying for your spawner. But again, like here, like, okay, this is really weird, right? Like this spawn comes through, right? Maybe Aquacorde could be looking at the spinny guy, seeing like, oh, okay, that guy is going like that speed, kills these blazes, checks it again, sees like, oh, it looks like it's sped up, okay, the spawn cycle might be coming pretty soon. Because if Aquacorde left here for these strays and sent them, then it's a lot worse than just killing these 4 blazes that are right here in front of you. He's gonna have to deal with a skeleton over there, he's gonna have to deal with 2 wither skeletons, like, it's gonna be annoying. But like, if this was a 40-second spawn cycle, dealing with that skeleton, dealing with those 2 wither skeletons would have been worth it. So It's really hard to tell, but I think the info's there. Also only needs one rod as well, so that can help determine whether or not you should go for strays or not. But I think his play here is perfect. Uh, waits at the spawner, gets the 4 spawn, kills it, doesn't take any damage, any unnecessary damage, unhangs the pearl hang was just perfect. It's one more pearl towards second portal core. It's like, I don't know, like, a little bit of hesitation here. It's like kind of hard. Like we're re-F3C'ing. It says like, oh, 21 degrees to the right, kind of flicks more like 45 degrees. So he's a bit too far to the right. And then like kind of has to run back left a little bit here to 152, negative 250. But it just is not that much time lost, right? Like we're just losing a tiny bit of time. And it's just like, he's probably not thinking about that too much because he's trying to get his inventory overlaps, like crafting the eyes and stuff, because that's like low-key equally as important. Just getting that done, because if the second portal is really close, like you don't want to not have your eyes crafted because you were being lazy and not crafting them. Something that he does there that I really like, you second portal here, you insta F3C. When you're not in starter, you instantly F3C. Because it'll tell you exactly what direction you have to run for the it says to the left 75 degrees because he kind of was looking to the side there, and obviously in this case it doesn't matter, just sees the starter, but you just can use that to figure out where the portal room is, or where the stronghold is, a lot quicker than otherwise, because you don't know which way you got snapped in the cave, you know what I mean? You have to just do it all mentally compared to just F3C'ing with the Ninja Rain bot. It's just gonna save you a lot of time. And then this was like confusing to me, honestly. I guess Aquacorde does preemptive with hitboxes on. I don't recommend doing preemptive with hitboxes on unless you're doing hover hitbox, and hover hitbox has its use cases. But in my opinion, the best way, just because you get the most info, is to do non-hover, non-hitbox. Hover hitbox is a very, very specific strat, by the way. You have to watch the video on that to understand how it works. But Aquacorde just preemptives with hitboxes on for some reason. So it's a little bit confusing because there was something here, kind of there, like it looked like maybe that weird thing could be an entity spike, but obviously we see that he doesn't have entities, but it's really hard to look at both the pie chart and the entity number at the same time. So like that, like kind of when the pie chart like snaps up like that, it feels like sometimes that could be the portal room spike. And I would have what I would have done at least is when I see something like that happen, I would have investigated a little bit more. But Awkward for some reason just decides against it. I'm really not sure why. Because maybe he's just so aware that there was 0 entities and the pie chart snapped up like that, but it was 0 entities, so it was obviously not a real spike. And then just continues scanning. Maybe kind of double checks it there, but not really, and then sees that this is you know, closed, aligned with the chunk borders, opens it up for culling, and then continues kind of through here, and then gets to a more open area. Because, like, this is just correct in, like, every way, right? Like, if you're at starter, you don't get a spike, the first thing that you should be doing, like, the things that you should be thinking about is, like, culling. You assume the portal room is culled first, and the most common way that a portal room can be culled is right here. You see he throws up chunk borders. Is when this wall is lined up with a chunk border, the portal room can't like gen past it properly. So, or like the portal room gets cold. So opening this wall up is good. And then not only opening this wall up is changing the chunk that you're in, resets the kind of like how, like every chunk that you change like kind of resets what chunks are generated around you. So changing the chunk that you're in is really good. So he breaks that and goes through. So we're doing both of those at once, right? And then we're rescanning here, but it's kind of buried. It's kind of hard to get a good scan. And also, the third thing that you assume is if you can't get a spike is the portal room might be really far. And in the case that the portal room is really far, you want to be just doing slight nav. And now also he's getting kind of nav done, getting more info as we're nabbing. So like this is just the perfect play, is you just want to break the chunk border. And also I think on top of this as well, like, yeah, I think it's just always, actually, I was going to say, it doesn't really change too much, but in my opinion, I think it's better to go, if you're going to go down one of the sides, it's better to go down a side that has only one path compared to a side that has 2 paths, because a side that has 2 paths is going to be closing in on each other and kind of like potentially just kind of taking up too much space and not allowing the portal room to gen. So, but the other side only has one direction anyway too, so it doesn't really change too much. And I don't think there's much difference between top left and top right and bottom left and bottom right. So, but because of all the other reasons before as well with the chunk culling, it's just totally correct to go through here. Um,
Nothing.
No good spike.
so
Some weird
runs through
chunking.
here,
Maybe there's some mobs on your
and
side.
then continues, finds kind of an open area as well. That's kind of nice because you don't hover then, and then just spots the spike. So perfect there. Pearl's there. I think I like the pearl because you know you're gonna have to hunger reset, so you're always gonna want to throw the pearl before you nav. And I think he probably just like assumes that it's like gonna be right around the corner, and like I don't know, it's just good pearl. It's just a good pearl. Like he could have thrown a pearl from here to there, probably would have saved less time. And so that pearl is just, you know, a nice one to get. And then yeah, in the portal room, we'll see a little bit of lag. I'm not sure if that was his PC or just stream. Probably stream. I feel like PC lag is like the worst thing. And I would like just try to fix it right away. Like freezes like that can just kill runs. Yeah, I'm curious about this. So 055, wait, 055, and then mine's 4 blocks. Wait, 4 blocks, right? Or 3 blocks? 3 blocks. And I think crouches for it. I think you can do double pearl clip on 55. I low-key forget how to do it, but I think you can do it. If you crouch. I'm pretty sure if you crouch, you can do it. That being said, doesn't really matter. Gets the single pearl clip. And then yeah, I think Aquacorde also very, very strong at 0 cycles. I don't know if you guys know this, but for people who haven't watched playoffs before, last season, Awkward eliminated me in round of 16. Round of 16, he had to hit a 2+2, just like how I had to hit a 2+2 against Skycrab. And he hit it, and I didn't. So I guess Awkward's just better than me. But anyway, he hit the 2+2 and eliminated me. And I think Awkward has really, really consistent, really strong zeros. That's like a big thing that in my head, like everybody in playoffs kind of does, right? But I think like Aquacord specifically stands out, like he's not going to choke a 0, right? Like some of the other playoffs participants maybe like think like, okay, they might choke a 0 here or there. Like Aquacord is just not really going to do that. Really clean match. As soon as like Aquacord kind of just like, I don't know, it was so weird. Like NHP just had no time to make up, right? Like he just had really no time to make up. And I was focused on Awkward because he's just in the lead and he's also the person who's going on to the next weekend. So I feel like it's more interesting to talk about him. But yeah, I don't know. Not much time to make up. Like, and Awkward just kind of played it really clean all around. And just like no mistakes. And like as soon as he's in the fortress 39 seconds faster, like just kind of that's all you need to do, right? Like you're so far ahead, as long as you're not making any big mistakes, like you just are going to be winning the match as long as you don't make any big mistakes. Yeah, I said that 3 times. All right, NHB picks Village. I think this is a good pick for NHB. Well, I don't know, kind of depends. But you know, you might want to kind of shake things up because if you're down to well, okay, first of all, I don't think he had a choice, so I don't think this is an actual pick. Yeah, because this is just the last C-type. But Village is kind of nice because I think it has a lot of variance. It has a lot of skill as well to manage that variance, but it also just does objectively have a lot of variance. The fact that I can still enter faster on villages than Infume sometimes, just because I kind of go the correct way to a lava pool or something. It's like maybe overall, like I know overall he plays villages way better than me, but it still has the variance of not spawning the lava pool and stuff like that. So maybe if you think you're the worst player and you were in a bad position like this, if you're down 2-0 or whatever, like not like he had a choice, but you want to maybe try to shake things up and pull things in your favor by playing a village and playing something that might have some variance that can bring you back into the match. I don't know. But I don't know how much that's playing towards NHB's like strengths. Like I think NHB is very much a kind of high-speed player, and generally high-speed players are not as good decision-making wise. Obviously, somebody like Loki or whatever, like when you have the high speed and the good decision making, that's when you get like um, become like the best player in the game, right? Aquacorde intergrabs the 5 hay bales. Oh, so does NHB.
I saw NHB to switch to hard mode. Didn't see Aquacord do that. You do that so that leaves catch on fire.
Hard mode really good there. I think hard mode like being like on Insta is probably just like good on village seeds. On temple seeds, maybe it could be good too. I kind of want to ask ADCR about that, see what he thinks. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. Oh, this is a good play by NHB in my opinion. Well, okay, so what I like doing is if you have 1 extra iron, you know Golem is always dropping 4. So what you should do is instead of dropping, instead of making a iron shovel, you make a stone shovel. Stone shovel loses a bit of time over iron shovel, but and you have to mine 1 extra stone. But you have the option now to make shears. You have the like potential like to decide in the future whether or not you want to make shears or you want to make bucket. And the thing is though, this seed has so many so many different places for gravel. And you know that because of this long stroll towards the village. Like gravel there, no lava pool, but you could assume maybe the lava pool's up here in the trees. Gravel to the left, no lava there, but you could also assume it's up on top of the mountain. Like when you don't see the lava pool, you have to assume it's somewhere else, right? And then as you run in here too, you see the river behind the village. You could assume, oh, maybe the lava pool's hidden in these trees. So in NHB's case, I probably, since there's so many different options for gravel and they're all kind of valid in terms of the direction of where the lava pool would be, you probably don't want to make, you're just going to lose time making a stone shovel here, so Aquacorde's play is probably more accurate. That being said, I do like the concept, and if you can't think about it, might as well just make a stone shovel, like, because it's a lot to take in and a lot to make that decision. Might as well just make the stone shovel and then give yourself the option, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be losing that much time to not having an iron shovel, but you are going to be losing a lot of time if you make an iron shovel and you don't have shears, because you're going to have to mine so many logs to get blocks. So it seems like NHP's ahead here, but Aquacorde is just killing the golem. I don't know why. Okay, so this is like such a interesting thing. I swear Aquacorde turned off hard mode to kill the golem. Wait, am I misremembering? I might be stupid. Like, why did we turn off or turn on hard mode? Maybe he just turned on hard mode. That might be what it is. But yeah, like, look at that. Oh yeah, NHB spotted this lava pool because of fire, because of hard mode, by the way. Even though it wasn't a tree, boom. Oh my god, that was so lucky. Look at, okay, this is, if you can't see it, it's like fine, but just take my word for it. He's looking to the side here, and that fire gets lit as he's looking. Wait. It's not lit right now? There's nothing there, right? Boom! That little fucking white pixel. And for NHB, it's obviously way more obvious. But spots that up on that hill. And honestly, I feel like I maybe assume the lava pool's there because it's just like an area that you can't see. But I don't think I make that decision over Awkward's decision because Awkward doesn't see that and Awkward goes over here. I probably do this what Awkward does because this is your closest gravel and this also has potential for the lava pool to be here. Because the lava pool could easily be in this spruce forest and you just can't see it. That being said, maybe if you're on hard for a while and you don't see it lit up in the forest, you assume since it's a spruce like forest or whatever, like a taiga, that the lava pool is not going to be there, and then you probably don't want to make that decision actually because yeah, okay, that's kind of smart actually. Since you're on hard, like you wouldn't want to go to a forest because a forest should be on fire already. So, okay, so yeah, it gets a lava pool here, and this okay, well, it burned all these trees down. That sucks. It burned all these trees down, but they're just completely behind the hill. This is like the only other place that the lava pool could really be. Because if it was uh honestly, Awkward might have been thinking like Awkward might have just been thinking like, okay, I don't know where the lava pool is. It might just be behind this hill that I couldn't see. This is the closest gravel to me and that lava pool, so I have to go over there. But like in theory, Awkward, if he had the shears, I feel like the shears would have been better here. Right? Like, because if Awkward's going to that lava pool, there's no linear gravel. This is such unlinear gravel. We're running like 15 seconds away for the gravel and then going into this river and then running 15 seconds back to the village or whatever. Maybe not 15, like 10. Like, this is not like, oh, it's just so hard to say, right? Like, this would have been a good moment for Aquacorde to have these shears, I think. But I don't know. Maybe it's just he's a more consistent player, and you don't want to use the shears woodlight as because it's a less consistent play. You know what I mean? And it's like even though he's entering a lot slower here, like 203 compared to like 227, like maybe you just assume like I'm a beast. I can make that up. I kind of messed up in this overworld, or I didn't even mess up. I got unlucky, right? I played it perfectly. I just got unlucky that I didn't see the same fire that NHB had, and I lost time. But like if he went for the shears or whatever, he could have lost even more time. But I don't know. I don't think. I feel like the shears play would have been better for Aquacord just because of how the gravel proximity ended up working out, and so like he should have given himself the option. Either that or he should have just gone to the same same gravel that NHB went to and then assumed that the lava pool was where NHB said or where NHB was because he knows that he can't see it. Cuz like that's like I don't know, it's just so hard. Like you just have to assume like I'm thinking way too hard about this maybe. You just have to assume like it's kind of good for me to like speak out my thoughts as well because I think it helps me. But like okay, we spawn in, right? Let's see what Aquacord does. Look back. Okay, no lava pool. No lava pool. No lava pool here. No lava pool here. No lava pool behind. We're still scanning, scanning, scanning. Where can't we see right now? We can't see in this forest. We can't see behind this hill. And we can't see up on this hill behind us. Right? And so those are maybe our three options, right? And so if we assume the lava pool is here, then we want to play for the shears because there's no gravel accessible. If we assume the lava pool is up on this hill, then maybe we want to we would make the iron shovel because the gravel's right here. If we assume it's in the forest, then we'd also want to make the shovel because the gravel is right next to the forest. But the forest isn't a good play because you go to hard mode, and then if it's not on fire, then it's probably not in the forest, right? So then behind this hill and up on the hill are our only options. Up on the hill is the more maybe it's like less odds of the lava pool being there because you can see like half of the hill. You just can't see like the whole hill. You can see a lot of it, honestly. So then assuming it's behind this hill over here is like the best thing to do probably. And then in that case, you'd probably want to make shears. And like obviously it's just so much easier for me to mentally analyze this all in hindsight, but yeah, I don't know. Because yeah, Awkward goes so hard there. So hard. It's so hard to make the decision, right? It's just so overwhelming. But like it's one of those things where it feels like if I was up against an Infium, he would make like whatever the right decision is, and like
So committing, like you could absolutely be right. Aquacord knows
depending on the
what to do
seed,
here.
it's gonna be something different. But
This could
a
be
lot of the time, like what you want to do is you just want to play like do whatever is like feels like the fastest,
I
and
think literally
if it doesn't work out,
saw
you're in
that
still a good
level
position to like
that
kind of
was
adjust.
max
But
Sapphire.
yeah, like Aquacord that kind of does that here, right? Like this is Aquacord's exact fastest play for making the iron shovel.
Aquacord
Um,
no idea
is
what to
just
do.
wait, when does he
Play
spot
too
this, by
hard
the
on
way?
top lava pool, and there it is. This could be the variance that NHB needs.
Only reason he saw that lava pool was because the
Like this
ground
is
was so
insanely like
flat.
this is really smart from Aquacord, right? Because this is the only place other than maybe on the hill where NHB is where that the lava pool could be. Because we were on hard, it's not in the forest, and so we're insta like the fact that he's able to just beeline it, like I'm not sure how early he saw it, but like
But he's got a lot of
the
time.
ability to just like know, okay, this is the place where I haven't checked yet, and where I'm gonna run over there is just like so impressive. Because sometimes it's really hard to piece together what I've seen and what I haven't seen, and kind of make a mental image of the seed in your head. Um, and so he essentially loses as little time as he possibly could have to not spotting the fire because he didn't get lucky and have the fire light the
Usually to take higher
grass,
ground
or
here.
yeah, the
However,
grass,
just
and
found
that
some
NHB
weird
saw.
linear land there, and I don't think NHB got any better views.
But like that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Like
I think it was just a raw
it's kind of
mistake
impossible to standardize grass like
from
that.
Aquacord. Oh, look at NHB taking some damage.
Taking a good bit of damage. Yeah, I mean the food from the village will be nice. One of the first seeds, honestly, that I can call to be
Really nice mechanics like from NHB right here. I don't know, like I just saw like that gold craft and it was just like really clean.
With this treasure bastion. 70% chance for
Let's see
any of these
here.
gold blocks to spawn. Doesn't look like a lot. Only one for
Oh,
NHB.
does that thing too.
Little bit.
I should be watching Awkward a little more, but
Maybe 10-ish seconds ahead of Aquacord here.
NHB has the lead right now,
Treasure is quite honestly just
and
a
it's just a treasure. Like, what are they gonna do? But also, I'm curious about what what NHB is gonna do here. This is it. This gold toss.
maybe even 5.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was less.
Did you see that?
I think that gold toss is just correct because
Here, but little bit.
I'm curious. Like, I haven't messed with this, but it just makes sense. Like, even without the boat clutch, because like you drop these. Wait. Yeah, this makes even more sense to try to get your pigs trading as early as possible, because essentially like this just gets them trading again. Like you lose a little time to mining that, but it's overlapped, right? And you're moving, like it's double overlapped. They're trading and you're moving, and then as you're coming back here, right, dropping this gold as early as possible gets the trades re-trading as early as possible. So like you go here, jump, drop, bang, drops it down, falls in, and now okay, well, just like insta running down here is kind of crazy. But it's because he skipped the bottom right because there was like no gold over here. But like these guys aren't trading, and now they're trading as early as possible compared to if you had run in there and then drop the gold. Like you're, well, yeah, I think they're trading faster than if you're just to run around and then drop the gold. It's very small though. It's kind of hard to tell.
That was amazing. I think that gold throw is something.
I don't know why we're not grabbing the boots there.
I think it allows you to do some like crazy boat clutch tech, maybe.
Has iron soul speed, I guess, so you maybe don't want it, but I always like grabbing one piece of gold armor just because penguins are really annoying. Oh, especially bottom treasure here. It's gonna be really annoying if you have to go bottom without gold armor, which I think is what happens if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I would grab those gold boots for sure. Um like if the fort is on a crimson, like it doesn't look like it's going to be on a crimson on the seed, but you haven't seen the fort. You haven't seen all the nether. You don't really know. Oh my god, misses the boat clutch. There's like a lineup there for throwing that pearl as well. You have to aim at like the top of the treasure. K4 showed me this. You have to aim at like, it's kind of hard because they're like overlapping it really well because they're like kind of running and then whipping the pearl, but I think you just have to aim at like the top of the bastion and then it'll just kind of go nicely every single time. Do neither of them have gold armor? Oh no, Awkward does, yeah. And then NHB doesn't, and so it's just really awkward. We have to grab our thing, grab our lava bucket and kill them, and then, yeah, this is so awkward. I like Sharp 4 iron or sharp 4 diamond is so funny.
Was it the enchant?
Um,
See the enchant?
Yeah, it was something with 4, so not
Okay, okay, okay.
not
Not looting.
looting, unfortunately. 2 diamond swords in NHB's inventory, no gold armor. Gonna be waiting. I mean, great point with mining the gold because I think the
Also,
biggest thing
something that was interesting there is Awkward didn't even wait for the
dude,
pigs to
losing
finish
no gold
trading.
forward is such great
Which
intel.
I
Both
mean,
runners
obviously
have
just makes
seen
sense, but
this round very,
that's just
very
like
hard
really
to
fast
get the
decisions,
start
right?
pick. And
Because you
could
want to
we
give yourself as
see
much time as you possibly can.
do Eve on 19
Like
Obby?
you know
Or
the trades aren't gonna hit, right?
any
You know the trades
thought
aren't gonna hit.
or
So
what's your cutoff
we're
point
going
for
down as soon as possible, and then we're up as fast as possible as well. So now that the piglins are going, and now you can pyrite and you can determine what direction the fort is, and maybe set up a better pearl hang, and have more time to set up the better pearl hang because you have more time that you have like pyrite. Because like in general, you're not going to be really saving time because you have to wait for the pigs anyway. But now you have more time with being pyrite, so it's correct to go down early. And also kind of smaller, like, but like kind of there's some like overlaps and stuff that you can get. Like if you wait for the pigs on the last cycle, only a few of them are going to be trading sometimes.
for ranked playoffs, this is a pretty slow seed. The overworld was kind of slow. The Bastion had a lot of stuff going on. This is a
You
really
might be able to crit and then regular hit with sharp 4. I'm not 100% sure about that, but you might be able to. Um,
only 17 Obby. So
yeah, and you always have to wait for your trades for the obby. They didn't have a ton of pigs, but it's always going to save time. I like it with diamond pick, like leaving on 19 is fine. But anything lower than that can make your overlaps really, really gross in the fort. Obviously, if you just have really bad blaze rates, then you're totally fine to leave on like 15 obby, but you're just never gonna really have blaze rates that bad. So the 19 obby threshold of diamond pick is like what I aim for.
100%. It is nice
If
having
you can't
a
get it, you
lot
can't
of
get it.
seed levels, but I think Aquacorde's
But
playing it
you know,
it is nice having
had a lot of
why am I
success
rambling more than when Duke was in call?
I think early,
Okay,
18, 19,
gets the so NHB is going to be leaving here
let me see.
significantly earlier. I mean, this is like Parker for ranked
This was interesting because I found this like hard to like. Okay, so firstly, what they should have done, and I don't know if they did, but
and then
what
going
they
into
should do here is Aquacorde Pyres,
point with
right?
mining the gold because I think the biggest thing
So let's see what the direction is, and we'll do the
know where the fort is such great intel.
Wait,
Both runners
does he already know where it is?
the inventory is very similar on both sides. NHB could be
Wait, what?
a little bit
Did Awkward already see it?
I love the rep, but I think are we
coordinates, so maybe
Oh
using
god, I might be geeked.
playing it a sword.
Unhangs the
I
pearl,
think the biggest thing again HB's inventory, no gold armor, gonna be waiting. I mean,
drops the gold back.
the gold because I think the biggest thing again is
Did
just
they both see it?
Okay. Diamond sword, not looting.
great.
They must have seen it. Okay.
Like,
So you don't even have chunk counting info. That's fine. I was gonna say you get chunk counting info, but neither of them are pyre.
19 Aquacorde's still waiting, has only 17
They
Obby.
must have spotted it. It's just so far though. Holy shit.
Significantly earlier. I mean, this is like
I kind of want to see when they spotted it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just curious about that because it's like info gathering is like one of the most important things in the game. Like being able to determine when you want to gather info versus when you want to lose time to, or like when you went. Oh, right there, writing about the for writing it. I think just is it's right there. Yeah. Okay, so don't have the chunk counting info for this fort, but yeah, gathering info, understanding when to gather that info, when to like what to do when is really important. Um, like what info to gather, what info is important, what info you don't need. I mean, all info is kind of good because even the absence of info is info. So kind of grabbing anything that you can find is good, but
Aquacorde's still waiting, has only 17
let's see here.
So NHB is gonna be leaving here.
I'm just curious about this because this is what wins Awkward the match, right? I mean, Awkward made up a little bit of time in that Bastion, which I'm kind of surprised about. I think it was because of the bottom treasure. Awkward dealt with bottom treasure about a lot better and saved time here.
Not
Um,
really, not the
so makes up time in there, and then like makes up time in this fort,
that the runners have been doing.
and
Really, not
I just want to watch what NHB does first, and then watch what Awkward does, and see if I can kind of determine whose play is better, why they made that play, that kind of thing. So, firstly, um, when you're in this fort, what you should be doing is the first thing that you should do, and this is something Hacks taught me like a few seasons ago, is like you want to have your pie chart set as early as possible because that helps you determine so much info. Pie chart is so important in Fortress, gamer under a pie chart. So the fact that NHB isn't scanning, it's fine, but low key, if half of it's buried, I would still scan here and just to be sure. So you want to have that like scanning as early as possible. Then from there, like the regular fort nav is like, well, firstly, you don't want to be missing anything. So like corridors like this, like you always want to be looking down a corridor like this. And to expand on that, you want to be going to areas that have a lot of corridors because a lot of corridors means a lot of places to look, means you're not going to be missing the spawner. So like it looks left down here, looks right down there. That's good. Also kills the stray, of course. Runs in here. Okay, now we have a lot of decisions to make. What are we going to do, right? There's a staircase that goes up, but we can obviously tell that this staircase goes up like and doesn't lead to anything because the staircase is always like it goes like from the bottom right to the top left, and it always, the direction of the staircase is like always towards the, like going down the staircase is the same direction that the staircase points to. So like you can see it every time a runner looks up a staircase, they always look the same direction because the staircase is always oriented like that. And so this staircase is up to the left, I think. It's kind of a little bit right. And so, and NHB was here, and you can see that it goes nowhere. So that staircase is a dead end. So we can instantly know that, right? And then we see this downward staircase. Downward staircases are good because generally, well, because they lead you back to the start. And the start of the fortress has usually the start of the fortress is close to the spawners. So going down staircases is generally good. So we can see the staircase, but the only problem with this staircase is that it's buried, and you don't want to go in the buried part of the fort. You have so much more info on the open part of the fort, so I understand not going down the staircase. So instead, we're going to go over here, and also this is like more corridors, more angles, more stuff to look at. Now changes the pie chart really late, in my opinion, and then runs to the side here, and then runs over here. And so we can see that the down staircase, this corridor right here, is something that you could maybe check. I would say if you pie chart and you see it spawner that way, then you should definitely check this because we know that this is the down staircase direction. This is like same thing with the up and the down part of the staircase. Like you know which direction it leads to, like at the bottom, and you know which direction it leads to at the top. Like how can I describe it? It's just like a staircase is just an upward and a 90-degree turn to the right. So we always know kind of how it is as long as we know what like the stairs, like how the stairs are oriented. So this is towards the start of the fortress. So that is good. But this is also buried, so that is bad. So NHB goes down here, knows it's towards the start of the fortress, I think. Actually, maybe it's hard to tell. That might be it's really hard to tell the bit rate's too bad, but that if that's a like split or whatever in the directions, then this is actually not necessarily towards the start of this fortress, because only downward stairs we can tell. If it's a split direction, like in multiple different directions, we don't really, it doesn't give us info towards the start of the fortress. If this is obviously the only corridor, and then at the end of the corridor it's a staircase, then we know it's still going towards the start, but I can't tell if this is a split or not. But goes down into this buried part, and I don't like it. Even though it is towards the start of the fortress, at the end of the day, knowing where info is the biggest thing. Like you need to like be in an open part as much as possible because you can see just more of the fortress, and the more of the fortress is better. And even though we're potentially going back to the start right now, we haven't pie charted, and if you are going into a buried part ever, you should always be pie charting. So, and if he goes into this buried part, and then we have a bunch more options. Okay, so this is the good part. So yeah, we head back, and this is probably the start. Or this is the bad part, sorry. Bad part is also kind of usually close to the start. This is probably the start of the fortress. If he opens up 3, I would know. Yeah, it's 11-11 in the chunk. So we know this is the start of the fortress, so the spawners are going to be somewhat close to this. So he does end up here, but the problem is that um he went into the buried part, and the buried part is like worse than going to the start, in my opinion. And also because the start is close to spawners, but it doesn't mean the spawners are at the start. You're not always going instantly to the start to find the spawners, although they're generally close to the start. They're not always on top of the start, so you want to still be uh like closing off as many directions of the fort as you can while you're navigating. So what Aquacorde does is, even though there is this option down here, just goes over here to this open part, and you can see Aquacorde has so much more info, right? Has this way to check. Okay, there's like that corridor there, this kind of whatever this is, I don't know what this is, and then 180s, and is also playing more catch-all. This is another maybe more consistent play in sort of closing off all the close kind of fort directions that he could have checked, and this is the very last fort direction that he could have checked, and the spawner's there. If it wasn't here, all Aquacorde has to do now is just drop back towards where NHB was, or maybe pearl back towards the other way of the corridor, and he's going back to the start, and that's fine. But spots the spawner, and it's just makes more sense. It just makes more sense. NHB's play isn't like it's smart. Honestly, it's smart. Aquacorde's play is just slightly smarter. You know what I mean? And that rewards Aquacorde majorly, because now NHB's in this berry part trying to pie chart now, finally, so late. Both of these runners, in my opinion, pie charted way too late. It could, because again, the absence of info is still info. You know where the spawners aren't, and so that helps you, obviously, to a degree, with a 64 block range. I think, right? 64 blocks with the spawners. And so now NHB loses all of his time save because of just this little loop. The other spawner is probably up to the... Wait, where would the other spawner be? I'm not really sure where the other spawner would be. Wait, is this is the bad part? Yeah, that's the well room. So the other spawner is probably like somewhere really far.
It is nice having all this village food for a seed like this.
Yeah.
I don't
know. NHB just loses all his time save. Now Aquacorde's ahead just off of that. Playing a little bit more catch-all, playing a little bit makes more sense because yeah, open terrain kind of trumps everything. I mean, besides pie chart trumps everything, and then open terrain trumps everything, and then going back to starter is the next best option. So, and you kind of want to combine them all, obviously. But and Aquacorde plays slightly more accurately, and it rewards him with like a 20-second time save. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so small, but it's just so correct and just slightly ahead off that. Sharpness Sword is coming out here.
But that's the line, actually, Parker. Oh, no, frick.
What?
Aquacorde had already placed just 2 obsidian, and I thought he had to mine 2, but no, he just placed 2 obsidian randomly already. So yeah, I got really hyped that we had like 20 seconds of time. No, never mind.
Goes for the eye measurement here. I'm trying to just like kind of figure out like where they both are in terms of this. Aquacorde seemingly played this a lot better because every time, okay, I don't know what NHB did wrong here necessarily, but what we can see, like, okay, let's look at Aquacorde's. I think this is good, like, learning, because for me, it's something that I've been thinking about recently. I'm not gonna claim that I know it perfectly, but we can see that there's a difference here, and I'm pretty sure Aquacorde saves even more time here, because, okay, we roll up to the spawner, right? So there's a lot of things that you have to think about. Firstly, you have to think about how long it's taking me to kill these blazes. I have a diamond sword, it's killing them really fast, that's good. Secondly, you have to think about how many rods you're getting. 1 rod from those 3 blazes. Okay, 1 rod. Generally, if you have 1 rod right now, you're going to be playing a little bit more consistent at the spawner. You're going to be clearing a little bit more stuff out. You're going to be going for a little bit more spawns. You're going to be going for less overlaps. But obviously, at any moment, the next 4 blazes could drop. The next, in Aquacorde's case, 5 blazes could drop. And then if you haven't done your overlaps, then that's objective, just raw time loss. So you have to kind of play for like, you don't wanna play for the average, but you wanna make sure that you are kind of trying to get your pre-crafts done, but, like, thinking about it in, like, a I don't know how exactly to describe it, but basically, okay, Aquacorde plays this, breaks all this, uh, ooh, does he just ignore the glowstone? Is that the thing? Because this is debatable to ignore the glowstone, because we only have one rod here, but Aquacorde gets this, so Aquacorde's back few spawns are blocked, goes for just, like, when you have nothing else to do, like, um, obviously you want to pre-craft, so he makes the spawner nice. So this is good for Saul, making the spawner nice. If Awkward had 4 rods right now, do not make the spawner nice. Build the back out, maybe mine a block overlapped as you're running, but really he's making it very, very nice. Um, but and losing a little bit of time to it, but now no spawn comes through, so he's just starting his pre-crafts. So
different glowstone positions though is a little bit weird. Aquacord
gets pre-crafts off. Anyway, he's just playing very consistent. Gets all these pre-crafts off. Nice inventory management to be perfectly lined up. And then gets the other spawn. And then obviously you're going to kill this other spawn. And then 3 blazes, 4 blazes, 4 blazes. So 4 rods, I mean. 4 rods, generally, I would say, like, you don't want to... You want to blind instantly on this number. Obviously, pre-crafts first and then blind. But you never want to touch your spawner at this... rod count. Unless you already have your pre-crafts done in your first portal, then obviously you want to make your spawner better. But Aquacord first portals here, insta, really good because you want to have as much overlap as you possibly can. And so if he went to go mine the glowstone out, it's not going to be as worth because next spawn is probably going to be a 3-4 and he's probably going to be able to get his drops through. And like 4 rods, you're playing for the high roll that the next blazes drop. And you already have like a nice spawner cleared out. So it's not like you're playing for like a crazy high roll of like having an unmined spawner or anything like that. Like it's still nice. So you're playing, it's like you're very likely to leave. And then we measure this eye and it kind of just perfectly overlaps with everything. So he got his crafts in, he got his spawner nicely done, he got his, I mean, everything like is good. And then bang, this is where the next blaze spawn comes through. Grab these 2 rods. Yeah, and we're just out. So Aquacord was fully overlapped at that spawner. So it was a like a literal, it's just a perfect spawner play, right? You just play it perfectly. And then what went wrong for NHB? Because that's the other thing. It's like where did NHB lose the time? Because why didn't he have this perfect spawner play that Aquacord had? So he wasn't pre-crafted, didn't pre-craft 2 beds. So has to do that. That's a bit of time loss. And then double beds here. We know the second spawn comes kind of late, so that's a little bit of time loss on his potential overlaps, even though we're still just waiting for the spawner. With 1 rod, wait, how many rods does... NHB has 2 rods here, so NHB has 2 rods, so with 2 rods, you know, it's slightly more than 1, so you would, in theory, make your spawner a little bit less nice as 1 rod, but, like, I wouldn't say it would change your gameplay that much compared to, like, having 4 rods. I mean, NHB's mining 2 unnecessary blocks, goes for the pre-crafts here, and then gets inventory management done. Okay, gets the pre-crafts off. Really fast pre-crafting from Aqua, or from NHB too. But then kills these blazes, and then this blaze balloons for like, oh my god, that's absurd time loss. That's not his fault at all. It's just a problem with Diamond Sword. And then this is the spawn. So Aquacord, I'm pretty sure this is the spawn, right? Because Aquacord only had 3 cycles. It was the first cycle, and then the second cycle that took forever, and he got like most of his pre-crafts done. And then the third cycle comes in soon here, and it was just like maybe it spawns like as he goes through. Yeah, it spawns there. So yeah, it comes pretty quick, but it's almost entirely overlapped, right? Technically, he loses like a few seconds, like reorienting himself. Like if he had a little bit faster crafting there, he would have saved a little bit more time because he's able to leave off that cycle. But it was pretty much perfectly overlapped. But then Aquacorde or NHB has the time loss of having to craft an extra bed. He's not pre-crafted as well, which just a mistake because he had time waiting at the blaze. Like he thought he was double bed pre-crafted, right? So whatever. And then on top of that, loses time to like in theory, if NHB is able to leave on this cycle, he saves a bit of time because of the stray he got earlier, because he doesn't have to wait for the last cycle. But it really wouldn't have saved that much time anyway, because Aquacorde was so clean with his spawner play. And then NHB has this Blaze just floating, and this is just, there's nothing NHB could do. In theory, I think what NHB maybe should do is slightly more optimal, is build his portal. Just throw the portal down, like, at the back of the spawner right here. Like, just bridge out one, and then just build the portal there while you're waiting for the Blaze to come back down, because blazes, I don't really know if anybody knows exactly why they fly up like this, but I know that jumping in general tends to make blazes go up, and they kind of try to match your Y height usually. So if you're not jumping, they'll come down. And so like this is like annoying because this blaze starts to fly up, right? And then NHB is jump, 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 jump. Oh, wait, I just thought about something. Maybe it's correct to kill blazes that are higher up, because you're not allowing them to get even higher. You know what I mean? Like if NHB selected this blaze right now that's already high, then this right here, jump wouldn't have allowed the blaze to like fly one block higher again. But at the same time, maybe you assume that it's just going to come down, but with Diamond Sword, you're jumping constantly. Anyway, I'm pretty sure blazes fly more when you're jumping more. And so then, and then this is just so annoying. Like, it's just, this is not NHB's fault really at all. It's just how, it's just like the game sucking. NHB just has his blaze balloon like this. And then on top of that, oh, we jump trying to hit it. Okay, we can't hit it. Jump, try and hit it. Miss the crit off, or like miss the crit or whatever. And then the blaze is probably going to be flying more because we're jumping, right? We're jumping, and the blaze is trying to like, it's like still flying more compared to if you weren't jumping. I think it would kind of try to lower itself more. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that's how it works though. And then finally it lowers itself when it's like fireballing. I don't know if it being fireball mode or not also maybe affects how it flies. I'm not 100% sure about that. And then we just lose time, and then this is when the spawn cycle comes. So all of that time was like kind of added up, and Awkward, even though Awkward had slightly slower pre-crafts, I would say, was able to do, because of the time loss of not crafting the bed earlier and not making the portal, Awkward or NHB, yeah, wait, what was I trying to say? No, because of the blaze ballooning and NHB not having pre-crafted, NHB now has this time loss of being stuck here and like gets spawned on. It's annoying. Health loss is time loss, and so Aquacord like can overlap building his portal while waiting for the last spawn cycle, but instead NHB gets spawned on. And then, I mean, if I was NHB, I would have killed that blaze, firstly. It's just good to go for 7, especially Diamond Sword is really nice. If you get 7, you just don't have to pick up the eye, it's time save. If it breaks, it's a little more linear. But yeah, Awkward just saves time here, even though he has slightly worse mechanics. It was just cleaner. And maybe that's just like due to like, but like I don't think it was NHB's fault that the blaze ballooned up like that. Maybe he could have managed it slightly better after it does balloon up like that, but like it's, I wouldn't expect that from him, right? Like wouldn't really expect like the most perfect play in such like an annoying scenario, right? That's like something I would expect like Infume to like manage really well, or like EDCR I feel like would manage that really well. It's like because they're just like so good at kind of managing like annoying situations and stuff. And then yeah, NHB just like kind of loses time there, and then loses time getting to the second portal a bit. And it's just like the most like, it's just Awkward is just so clean always, just kind of making the seed work for him always, making good decisions, making like the ability. Awkward has this ability to just like you have to be careful. Like he's gonna make up time on you and like could just make time up on you in any split. You know what I mean? He might make like a really good decision and then make up time on you, and or like not even a really good decision, but like if you go for a good decision and it doesn't work out, like if you go for like if you make a bad decision, Awkward's always gonna make either a good or like like a medium decision, I guess. And that's gonna be like the time save is like Awkward not making a mistake, not making a poor decision on the seed. You know what I mean? And I think that's like Awkward's like biggest strength, maybe. Um, on top of like, I mean, just being a really clean, really consistent player. I don't like bowing that last shot. Um, but yeah, this setup is nice. This is just like having this in the pocket is like kind of nice. 94 like wait, what am I like what am I seeing? 94 yeah, 95 offset setup. And then like gets like the bet off there. Like this is like the fastest build, but like I don't have this memorized because like I had it memorized at one point, but what I usually will do is just like go to like the edge here and then bridge to the side and then kind of do the setup from there. But like obviously just diagonal bridging into the setup is just faster. Like I should just have this memorized. It's just like it's not too hard honestly either, but just like being able to rip this like random backup setup that you probably have done. He's probably done this like a bunch of times, but like in the grand scheme of things, like not that many times over the years that he's speedran, you know what I mean? Like it's probably just something where since he's grinded so much zero practice, he just has this under his belt and is able to rip this cleanly. Um and then yeah, doesn't even worry about bowing because like bowing honestly is annoying. It adds variance to your zero or to your to your zero. Like bow is good because it increases damage. Damage is good. Damage allows you to do less beds. Less beds is better because you can have less beds, but also because if you miss time a bed, you'll have that extra damage to kind of recover. But bow is also annoying because it's just a random chance that your arrow goes through the dragon and you might just lose. And so not bowing is just totally fine, and then like kind of waiting until it's lined up really nicely for just like a clean bow shot. And then this final bow shot is bad, I think, because usually you do a final bow shot like that to stop the dragon's momentum, and when you stop the dragon's momentum, it turns towards the fountain quicker. But in Aquacord's case, it's flying generally towards the fountain. So you don't want to bow when it's flying towards the fountain. You want to bow when it's flying away from the fountain. If it's the last explosive and you're just gonna do one explosive, it just saves time. I think. I mean, Awkward's was like kind of flying like sort of not towards the fountain, but I think this probably isn't gonna save time, but maybe it's not bad. It might lose a tiny bit of time, but it probably won't lose time just because of how the rotations work. Like that dragon animation was really fast. Like it probably didn't really lose much time. And yeah, I mean, okay, I'm sorry I talked for an hour and 30 and I think I rambled way too much, but I hope people enjoyed it anyway. Like this was just I just love doing this. Like this is so fun for me. And I hope it gives more insight into like for people to like understand like who, maybe people will be like maybe people who are new or whatever haven't watched much and like this will kind of allow them to like be like, oh damn, like I really like Awkward's playstyle. Like and now that he's like pointed out like kind of uh like some of the like reasons and stuff, like maybe you might be more like, oh fuck yeah, like I want to see Awkward win now, you know what I mean? And like also it can help people like understand predicting like the next matchups and stuff. And then on top of that, it's just an analysis so people can learn from it. So I like doing these a lot. And yeah, I'm not the perfect like person for this, obviously. Some people have just like better mechanics, but I think or like better game sense, but I think it helps me, it helps everybody who's watching, and I should wrap up this. I'm sorry. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chilling. I will do this more with Doog maybe. I want to see if he wants to do the Skycrab one. and maybe in more with Duke too, but I'm not 100% sure. But we'll see. Okay, bye.